Hello, internet friendos. This is an update of the Mahua Moitra saga, which has been unfolding for the past 2 months, I would say. I have done a video already on this. I will leave a link below. That is part 1 of the saga, where I argued why this whole thing and the premise of it is kind of stupid. So the update is that she has been expelled from parliament. But let me just give you like a TLDR version of what has happened till now. There's this lawyer called Jay Anand Dehadrai. Mahua Moitra and him were in a relationship at some point. Then they broke up. And they had adopted a dog together called Henry. Then they got into a messy custody battle. Then Jay Anand Dehadrai probably decided to take revenge and sent a complaint to someone called Nishikant Dubey. Nishikant Dubey is also a member of parliament, and Mahua Moitra has been questioning him for faking his degrees. That's an allegation that Mahua Moitra had made on Nishikant Dubey. So Jay Anand Dehadrai sends the letter to Nishikant Dubey, and the allegation is that Mahua Moitra has been taking money from Darshan Hiranandani, who is a part of the family of the Hiranandani group. Hiranandani is a giant corporation which is involved in a bunch of things, especially real estate. The allegation was that Mahua Moitra has been taking money from Darshan Hiranandani to ask questions in parliament with a few motives. One is to malign Mr. Gautam Adani. Second is to lobby for Mr. Hiranandani. And the third is to harm the reputation of Honorable Shri Sir Prime Minister Adarniya Shri Sir Narendra Modi ji. So what happened is that this allegation came up, the media played it up, it became like a thing. Mahua Moitra's photos were circulated where she's in a skirt, she's drinking, she's smoking a cigar, all the things to show her as a loose woman. BJP IT cell, obviously, so you know what they do. So all of that happened, and then the matter was sent to the ethics committee. The parliamentary ethics committee sat down, they called witnesses. Jayanand Dehadrai was called and he was asked some questions. Then next day Mahua Moitra was called and she was asked a bunch of questions. And then that went a little downhill because the allegations were that the committee chairman was asking some extremely shitty and personal questions to Mahua Moitra. They called it a Cheer-Haran of Draupadi, where this woman MP is standing before a committee and being asked extremely personal questions. So that's kind of shitty. So they all boycotted it. Opposition MPs boycotted it, came out of the committee hall and created a big ruckus out of it. So all of that happened, and now we actually have the committee report which comes with a transcript. So I will actually show you what happened in the committee as well. Cut to Friday, which is 8th of December. Parliament assembled, they presented the report, there was a voice vote done, and she's gone. She was not given a chance to speak. Other MPs spoke for a bit, but yeah, she came out on the steps of the parliament and gave a speech instead. I'm going to take you through all of that, the second part. But yeah, if you want to enjoy this video more, I highly recommend you watch part 1, which I will link below. I highly recommend it because you will get a lot of content of what is going on, plus why this whole thing is stupid. The whole question asking, paisa taking thing is a kind of a ridiculous premise, especially to kick a parliamentarian out of parliament. It's just, yeah, what it is. Okay, let's go. First, here's what happened in parliament on Friday. This is Madhyam. Please follow them. They give great parliament updates every once in a while on Twitter. Madhyam says, in a rare instance, Lok Sabha takes up for discussion a report of the Committee of Ethics on a complaint against MP Mahua Moitra. That is the committee I was mentioning. Lok Sabha took up that complaint. As minister moves the motion for the same, some MPs say that they haven't even received a copy of the report yet. It was tabled only this morning. This is the report they are talking about. I have a copy of it, and it is goes on and on and on and on, and it's 495 pages long. It has a lot of stuff. Just let me take you through the table of contents. So first the report, then the complaint by Nishikant Dubey, this mentioned that, then the letter that Jay Anand Dehadrai wrote to Nishikant Dubey and complaint against Mahua Moitra, then affidavit of Darshan Hiranandani. He signed an affidavit in in Dubai and got it notarized, and that was spread in the media, and then he also came on Times. Now, again, all of that is in part 1. Minutes of the sitting of this committee, minutes of evidence, and notes of dissent from other MPs. So, lots of stuff. And some of them didn't even get a copy, and they didn't even get time to read it. After Speaker speaks for a few minutes on the kind of conduct expected of MPs, he says he will permit 30-minute debate. Some MPs ask for more time. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said, how are they being given only 2 hours to go through a 604-page report? How is this humanly possible? That is correct. Chaudhary says that if allegation made against someone, natural justice demands they be given a chance to speak. No one can be punished in such a manner. Let not new parliament start kalankit, shameless practice. Some MPs object to that. He asked for 3-4 days to read the report. Manish Tiwari says he's been forced to speak on this, even if he didn't get a chance to read on the report. Committee's process cannot override natural justice. Mahua Moitra didn't even get a chance to explain herself or defend herself. That is important because she was not allowed by the speaker to speak in defense of herself. On the side of the BJP, Hina Gavit said that in 2005, Congress also brought a report on the same day. 10 MPs were expelled. Why problem now? Essentially, she's saying that the Congress has done it before, so we should be allowed to do it as well. Essential part of the argument. She's mentioning a 2005 case where Cobra Post, in collaboration with Aaj Tak, did a sting on some MPs and offered cash to those MPs to ask some questions in Parliament. And they were like, sure, let's do it. And then once that report came out, that sting operation came out, there was a big bawal. Then a separate committee was set up to investigate the matter. They gave the report, and next day 10 MPs were expelled from Parliament for in the what is now known as the cash for query scam. Oh, she also said I was able to read the report in 2 hours, how other learned people were not able to. Prodigy in our midst. Hiranandani, business in 5 sectors: telecom, shipping, real estate, petroleum, pipeline. Mahua Moitra has asked 61 questions so far, 50 questions related to these sectors. Sudeep Bandopadhyay said, we know House will expel her since allegation is against her. Mahua herself should speak from our party. Prahlad objects past incident, 10 MPs who were being expelled and also not allowed to speak. See, that's what they're saying. So if the Congress has done it, we should be allowed to do it as well. Basic argument. Oh, tumne galat kiya hai, so we should also be allowed to do galat, okay? You did wrong, but you did wrong. We should be also allowed now to do wrong. That is the argument. So a few MPs were allowed to speak. Then among intense protest when chants of shame could be heard, House first accepted a proposal to accept report of the ethics committee. Then it wasn't shown, but looks like opposition walked out, and then motion to expel Mahua Moitra was voted upon and passed. And thus, Mahua Moitra was kicked out of Parliament. After that sequence of events, Mahua Moitra came outside and she gave a speech outside the Parliament on the steps. A bunch of MPs, India Alliance, were standing behind her. What it now essentially seems like, after the last elections, when the India Alliance, the Congress technically lost a lot of face because it lost 3 states, this can become like a nice reason for the alliance to come together again. And it seems like it also. Just the visuals make it look like it. I'll play up some parts of the speech.
Since I was not allowed to speak inside Parliament, I'm using this opportunity to speak outside Parliament. I thank all my colleagues as part of the India Alliance. I thank my party, everybody for standing by me. The 17th Lok Sabha has indeed been historic. It has presided over the most tenacious witch hunt of one of 78 women MPs, a first-timer, a single woman with no political lineage, elected from a far-flung constituency on the Bangladesh border. This Lok Sabha has also seen the weaponization of a parliamentary committee. Ironically, the Ethics Committee, which was set up to serve as a moral compass for members. Instead, it has been abused egregiously today to do exactly what it was never meant to do, which is to bulldoze the opposition and become another weapon to tokdo us into submission. This committee and this report has broken every rule in the book. In essence, you're finding me guilty of breaching a code of ethics that does not exist. The recommendation of expulsion is based solely on the ground that I have shared my Lok Sabha portal login. There are no rules whatsoever to govern the sharing of logins. As the hearing of the Ethics Committee demonstrates, all of us MPs are conveyor belts to get questions from the public, from citizens, and to voice that in Parliament. You hate minorities. You hate women. You detest Nari Shakti. You cannot handle power and authority. I'm 49 years old. I will fight you for the next 30 years inside parliament, outside parliament, in the gutter, on the streets. Adim Hanhingstro Manubikatar Jodi Ami Keu Hoi, Shojon Harana Shoshane Tode Chita Ami Tulboi. We will see the end of you. Do not wonder. Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Utkala, Bongo. We don't have the Punjab. Sindh is not ours. Dravid is not yours. Utkal is not yours. Bongo is not yours. Where do you think you're going to rule us? Where do you think you get this brute majority from? This is the beginning of your end. जब नाश मनुष्य पर छाता है तो पहले विवेक मर जाता है. We're going to come back and we're going to see the end of it. So thank you very much.
So that was what Mahua Moitra said outside the parliament on the steps, because she was not allowed to speak inside the parliament. This was a speech probably she had prepared to say these things inside parliament. But yeah, she came out and she did that. So you saw the visuals, right? You know, all the India Alliance members, even Sonia Gandhi, just standing there and looking very determined. Yeah, maybe this can be like a rallying signal for the India Alliance to get together now. Who knows these things? Politics is funny, friend. Anything can happen. So in a way, maybe the BJP has basically turned her into a hero for stupid reasons, which I'm going to show you now. Okay, so as I said, I went through this report, right? And if you go down, there are like all these places where evidence has been given. So Jai Anand Dehadrai essentially gave this evidence. Not my fault, it's like this, okay? Sarkari papers, they are like this. But then with the power of technology, I can do this also. Palat ja. Palat. Yes. So, Jayanand Dehadrai, what he did was, he took all of Mahua Moitra's questions, which she has asked since 2019. If you see, these are all questions, parliamentary questions. And then he gave some links on the side to prove why Mahua Moitra had an agenda. Take the first one, for instance. This is a question to the Petroleum and Natural Gas Ministry. And she has asked whether Gas Authority of India Limited GAIL has entered into an MOU with Paradeep Port Trust. If so, details thereof. Whether GAIL and IOCL signed an agreement with a private entity to take 11% and 38% stake in Dhamra Port. Whether it is true that the outgo of the said project would be recovered from the customers. If so, details thereof. That is Mahua Moitra's question, right? The reason that Jayanand Dehadrai gives is Adani Group is a competitive threat for Hiranandani Group. Paradeep Port is in Odisha, which entered into MOU with GAIL back in 2013, which was revoked in 2015. Paradeep is now GUI-owned port trust, basically saying that there is conflict of interest here. Like sometimes she asks a question which he has no reasons for, right? But it's still included there. Essentially, he just took all the questions and just put it together. Because serial numbers, friends, it looks nice, no? 50 questions. 60 questions. So I went through that report and I saw some of these bizarre things in the report, which I'm going to take you through. Question number 6. Will the Minister of Home Affairs be pleased to state status on increasing the number of integrated checkposts between West Bengal and Bangladesh, and status of signing an agreement for free movement of trucks between India and Bangladesh to further effective and efficient trade? It's a question. It's a decent question, right? You know, it's just like, Bangladesh, India, free trade, maybe economic activity, la la la. 3rd of December 2019 when this was asked. Hiranandani has invested in Bangladesh hugely during the same period, meaning that Hiranandani would seek to avail free movement through the border. Yeah, because Hiranandani is the only one who is investing in Bangladesh apparently. No other Indian company is interested at all. Sole आदमी है जो पूरी country का economy is just in his own hand apparently. Yeah, random, stupid reason according to me. Here's another one. This was a question asked to the Minister of Communications on 20th of November 2019. The statistics on the quality of service provided by telecom operators in the country during last 3 years. Okay, statistics on call drop rate and calls with good voice quality rate in terms of percentage. Yeah, decent question. I would want to know the answer, correct? Now, this is the reason that Jayanand Dehadrai gave about why this question is motivated. Just a day after this question, Yota, which is the Hiranandani concern, hired former Reliance Jio executive to expand its data centers. In July 2019, Yotta had announced it would invest 1000 crore in building data centers. Back in 2012, Hiranandani Group was eyeing something that Jio brought in, a connectivity revolution. That is his reason, which is that, yeah, they're building data centers, and in 2012, they wanted to get into the telecom market to start something like Jio. So, therefore, Mahua Moitra's question is motivated. I don't want to insult your intelligence or anything, but if you are smart, you will know what is happening here, and it is ridiculous. Another one. Will the Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises be pleased to state status and efficacy of the steps already taken, such as loan waivers to assist MSMEs to recover from COVID-19? Whether the government has taken steps to assist MSMEs in recovering from the pandemic, steps taken by the government to make MSMEs go digital, steps and incentives being taken to do technological transformation of MSME sector. This question was asked on 4th of February 2021. This is the reason that Jay Anand Dehadrai gave for why this question is shady. In September 2020, Darshan Hiranandani said that banks could pass on the money to MSMEs as loan. Banks could pass on the money to MSMEs as loan? And he said this when? September 2020. Question was asked in 2021 February. And the question was about recovery of MSMEs from the COVID-19 pandemic. Bizarre. Again, don't want to insult your intelligence, but what is happening here? Okay, you want another one? Take another one. Minister of Steel. Steps taken by government to bring down prices of steel. Steps taken by government to bring down prices of raw materials and ensure that they do not get exported from India. Whether the government proposes to reduce tariffs on steel imports. That's Mahua's question. This is why Jay Anant Dehadrai, his stamp is there, right? He's saying Hiranandani family was deeply concerned about rising steel prices. Tweets from the family correspond directly. Real estate sector benefits from low prices of iron ores and steel. On May 30th, 2020, Hiranandani is quoted as saying that he appreciated the move of the government to cut down the cost. Okay, again, 26th of July 2021 was when the question was asked, when the steel prices were probably going up. And this is a quote from May 30th, 2022, a year later. And these two are connected? That he's appreciating the government for bringing the steel prices down is proof that Mahua Moitra asked a question about steel prices rising an year ago and asked them if the government has any plans to bring it down. As if Hiranandani is the only one who is buying steel apparently in the entire country and the only person who was worried about steel prices rising. What is happening here? Seriously. Okay, now I want to take you through some of the bizarre and fun parts of the report. So as I said, Nishikant Dubey, Jayanand Dehadrai both came and gave testimonies. Mahua Moitra also came and put her side forward in the committee. There was also the affidavit from Darshan Hiranandani which was included in the report. So this is the part where Dehadrai is being questioned whether he knows Darshan Hiranandani and whether he met Hiranandani. Okay, he says, Honorable Chairperson Sir, in the 3 years that I know Miss Moitra, I have never met Mr. Hiranandani directly. Miss Moitra had a very secretive relationship with Shri Hiranandani. They would talk secretively on the phone between each other. They would have secret meetings in Dubai and in other parts of the country. She was very particular that she would keep Mr. Hiranandani as far away from me as possible because I had expressed to her, not on one but multiple occasions, that I do not like the sort of people that she started mingling with and meeting with in New Delhi. They were unsavory characters. He basically called Hiranandani an unsavory character just casually. The other guy who gave the affidavit against Mahua Moitra and the guy who filed complaint against Mahua Moitra. So this guy is calling the other guy unsavory. Committee is like, sure, like let's take affidavit from this unsavory character because the complainant is sick. Anyway. Therefore, she was particular. However, when Hiranandani would call Miss Moitra at that time, she was using a phone earpiece of which was broken. She had to take calls on speaker. So I would end up hearing these conversations, not wanting to hear them, but I had no choice. Wait, so he said they would talk secretively on the phone between each other. Then he said that she would put it on speaker and poor thing, he was just in the room and he was, oh my god, I don't want to hear this, but I have to hear this. Oh my god. What are you doing to me? I have to hear your secretive calls on speaker. Why don't you just go and talk in the bathroom or something with like him? I don't want to hear these things. That's Jayanand Dehadre. That was my bad impression of Jayanand Dehadre, okay? And he said he has never met Hiranandani in his life. This is apart from when Nishikant Dubey was in front of the committee. So the allegation is that Mahua Moitra shared the login details of the members portal with Hiranandani. And Hiranandani was using it to file questions. That is the allegation. And in return, he was giving bribes and cash to Mahua Moitra. The thing is, if you look into the details of this, the members portal, what it is used to do is upload questions. And when it is uploaded, an OTP comes to a registered mobile number Mahua Moitra had, and then they would approve it or give it to the person who is uploading it, and then it would get uploaded. Then it goes through a random ballot, and then maybe it comes in Lok Sabha. Again, watch part 1 for details on that. So the allegation that Nishikant Dubey and friends had made was that by sharing the details with someone who is sitting in Dubai, that was a threat to national security, because apparently secret things happen on that portal and Mr. Hiranandani would have access to those secret things. National security. But anyway, he was asked specifically how sharing the login credentials of the NIC portal amounts to compromising national security. I'm just going to read this out. I can't. You call a technical expert. I am not a technical expert about it, but as much as I know, because before that I have also worked in a telephone company, that if someone enters your system, that is why Gmail is called public platform. Gmail is not used by government of India. She uses her own. Okay, they create their own systems. That is why NIC is still an agency of the government of India. He has not given it to any private agency. It's a national security. If someone goes into your system, then any information can be easily removed from there. What? Maybe I'm not smart enough, but if you know what this means, please leave a comment below. Please, I really need to decipher this and understand this. I don't get this. I don't. This is basically the crux of the matter, why Mahua Moitra was expelled from parliament, which is she's harming national security. She shared the login details with Darshan Hiranandani. Sorry, but I need to give you a bit of a reality check about how these things work. Okay, imagine you're a member of parliament and you have to file questions. You're allowed to file 7 questions in Rajya Sabha every day, and also Lok Sabha you can file 10 questions every day, right? So what you do is basically you sit down and then you type out all those questions. Then you go, you log in, and then you upload it. Then an OTP comes on your phone, and then you accept it, and then it gets uploaded. That's the process, right? In an ideal world. If I'm an MP, who either has no time for this clerical work, or I do not know how to use the members login. Yes, we have some MPs who maybe are not that computer literate. It's not a surprise. If either of these things are happening, then what they do is they hire a dude like me or someone else who knows how to use a computer and is a legislative aid to help them draft those questions, or they will share a news item and they will say, hey, can you make a question out of this? That's research. That's basically what parliamentary research aides are supposed to do. And then they basically log into the members portal and file the question. And the member gets an OTP, and that OTP they call up and will like, ha, OTP aa gaya sir. And they're like, ha, OTP le lo. And then it is filed. Yeah. The other way of doing it is to actually handwrite it in a form and submit it in parliament. When I was working in parliament, that is what we used to do. That is what we used to do, because old times, no member portal, whatever. There was a member portal, but it was so bad that nobody used it. Now probably it has become better, so that's why people are using it. Simply put, you cannot expect an MP to do this clerical work. It's not necessary. It is a little detail that they don't need in their life. They have other things to do, but also they are basically a loudspeaker in parliament. They take your questions, people's questions, reported questions, journalists' questions, experts' questions, and then they put it into parliament. And this process in the middle that is happening happening is refining that input and making it sure that it goes into parliament and then the question is answered by the government. That is the process. Moving on, Mahua Moitra was asked if sharing login details of Lok Sabha may amount to violation of the IT Act, right? And this is what she said. This is not an email access and password. The main thing is the supervised access. The second thing is that the Official Secrets Act does not apply here whatsoever, because if it were true, we would need a check and balance of every single person working in an MP's office. All interns and staff who would have to sign a non-disclosure form under the Official Secrets Act. That does not apply here. So it is not unethical. Second, when you come to the IT policy, the IT policy also does not apply here because this is not the email password. This is the login portal and password that are governed by the NIC, which had no rules of 2019 login. See, that's the thing. If you are saying that someone has broken rules, for that there need to be some rules. Otherwise, how have they broken it? Yeah, there were no rules. Literally, there were no rules of who could access NIC's portal. Why would they access it? Because it is a clerical thing. It is used to upload questions. It is used to look at parliamentary papers. It is literally the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha website in public. Yeah, all that information you can see in the portal. There are some committee reports which come in as well. There are some bill drafts that come in as well. Those are all documents you need to do your parliamentary work. But other than that, you can also submit questions and you can put in notices from parliament. It is a clerical thing. There are no rules which were given to us as to who could or could not operate it. Third, without the OTP, there is no access. Without the OTP, nobody can put in even a single question. The OTP came to me. Hence, on all three accounts, this is neither breaking any law nor unethical. It is only secretariat typist assistance. What she has been claiming is that she gave the OTP to Darshan Hiranandani because he had staff and there was a typist there who would type those questions out and upload them on the portal, and they would log in. She would get the OTP. There would be a call. You're like, okay, you have put in that question. Okay, yes, please put it in. Here's the OTP, and then they would upload it. That is what she's saying. Here's the Ministry of Home Affairs reasoning for saying why this is a threat to national security. It has been explicitly informed by the Ministry of Home Affairs that several documents are not available in the public domain. These include draft bills which are circulated in advance for members' consideration. For instance, it is learned that the J&K Delimitation Bill 2019 was circulated in advance. This leads to the possibility of leakage of such sensitive material which could be exploited by inimical elements to the detriment of national security. Basically, what they are saying is that these bills, these draft bills which are going to become law, those are circulated to members and it is a secret. Oh my god, and it will harm national security. That is the argument they are making. Here's the thing though, bills that are presented in parliament in practice need to be made public because the public needs to know what laws are going to come up in parliament and what your MPs are voting on. In a lot of cases, this government, last government, this government, worse than the last government, they do not even give time for MPs to see the drafts. The bills just come up, you're supposed to know in one day what to say on it, and then you basically go into parliament and you have to give your opinion on it. That happens. Even this committee report, 495 pages long, was not circulated because maybe this is the national security thing also. Oh, why do you need to read the draft ethics committee report? Because why do you need to know? The government knows everything. The government will tell you what to do, so why do you care? Like J&K delimitation bill, why do people need to know? Why do these members need to know? It was circulated in advance, what, a day before, 2 days before, and what is the national security implications for this? Please, again, maybe I'm not smart enough, maybe I'm just like this guy who is ranting on the internet, but if you know, if you are that smart person, leave a comment below. Would love to hear your explanation for this. So, friendos, that was basically what the report said. But I just want to show you one little thing from the report. It has a lot of transcripts in it about what happened within the committee. I went through it. A lot of it is in Hindi, and you know I do not read Hindi very well. But at the same time, I did go through it painstakingly last night, and I found something kind of triggering. Yeah, I have no other way to say it. It made me queasy, and yeah, I'll just read it out. So this is the part where the chairman started asking some bizarre questions to Mahua Moitra. Mahua Moitra is saying, I have known Darshan for 9 years. The chairman is asking what business he's doing. He's engaged in business of real estate and technology. He's very respected businessman. Both he and his father are very respected business houses. The chairman here is asking, it's Hindi. I'm just translating it into English. Is it true that on 20th of October, you have given a press release where you called Darshan Hiranandani a dear friend? Okay. Mahua Moitra is like, that is correct. He is a dear friend. I stand by it. He is a dear, close, personal friend. Chairman, why do you think he is your dear friend? Mahua Moitra is like, dear is an English word which means close to somebody. I can write a letter to you and say, dear chairperson, which means I am close to you and fond of you. It is a sign of respect of closeness in the English language. Then he asked, when did you meet Darshan first? She said, I know him for a long time. I have known him much before I became an MP. Chairman asks, what is the nature of your friendship with Darshan Hiranandani? And then she says, I think this is a very cheap question. On record, I would like to say, Kis prakar ki dosti is not a question that you would ask anyone. He is a dear personal friend. I take strong umbrage at that. As a citizen of India, I am well within my rights. It is my rights to privacy as to what kind of friends I have. Having said that, I have no business dealings with Mr. Hiranandani, and he is a dear personal friend. He asks further, do you know Hiranandani's wife, Neha Nandani? And if yes, what is your friendship with her like? And then she's like, I take strong umbrage at this. And Danish Ali, another member who was in the committee, he protested saying, ye galit cheez hai. He literally asked her whether the wife knows. I mean, I don't know. That's how I saw it, right? You can see it. Danish Ali says that Darshan Hiranandani never mentioned his wife, so why are you asking? And even Giridhar Yadav also said, please stop this. This is weird. This is wrong. Giridhar Yadav says, ki, why are you asking about the wife? Just ask about the matter at hand. And then chairman says, I am asking this because she wrote dear friend. That is the quality. That is literally the quality of what happened in the committee. So this transcript goes on for a bit after that, where he keeps asking her questions about Darshan Hiranandani, her relationship with Darshan, and also about when she went to Dubai, where did she stay in Dubai, what hotel she was staying in Dubai. You could see where this was going. Essentially from the transcript, at least I could see that people were getting more and more agitated. The environment was becoming more and more toxic as this sequence of events followed. And then the opposition MPs boycotted the proceedings and they just walked out. Okay, friends, so that is the report, and that is what happened in the committee. And that report was tabled in parliament and voted on through voice vote, and therefore Mahua Moitra was expelled from parliament. It is kind of ridiculous. As I said, the premise of this whole thing is stupid. Watch first video. I keep saying watch first video, but genuinely, please watch the first video if you want to get the entire story. But this whole thing is kind of ridiculous. An MP should not be fired for these things. She was asking questions to the government. Yeah, there is no proof that has been given that she even got any gifts from him. The gifts that she got, she already counted them out. She said that she got a scarf on her birthday. She got some help with the commute when she was in Dubai and Mumbai, because both of those places has his offices, so he used to send drivers, etc. He got secretarial help to file these questions. And the fourth thing is that she took his help to engage an architect to redo her own bungalow, and the government of India through the PWD spent money on that bungalow to refurbish it, and the architect was hired free of cost. Maybe Darshan Hiranandani must have figured figured that cost out. And she keeps saying he's still a close, dear, first personal friend. Dear friend. And that chairman took it to the next level because of it. I can't believe this genuinely started over a dog whose name is Henry. It was a custody battle which escalated into involving a rival MP of Mahua Moitra, and that rival MP happened to know exactly how to, well, do this, I guess. The rival MP and the ex teamed up, and then they teamed up with the ruling BJP, who find her very inconvenient. Her speeches go viral all the time. She is a independent, comparatively young, and also very liberal MP who does not hold her words back. She's not very filtered in parliament, and that's why a lot of people actually think that she's very brave. She's been going after Adani like crazy, as you know. And also, it is a weird coincidence, no, that the two people who genuinely went after Adani, their memberships were cancelled, which is Rahul Gandhi first, then the Supreme Court reversed his cancellation of membership, suspension, and then now Mahua Moitra. She's been expelled. Both of these people have been talking so much about Adani. I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence. Who knows these things? So yeah, that's the Mahua Moitra saga. I feel like the next step will be court. She will go to court, maybe. But also, 6 months later, there are new elections coming in. So maybe she'll fight again. Yeah, we'll see. That's it from me.